Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. One of you viewers gave me an idea for a brilliant video, so tonight I'm gonna do it. Thanks so much to Mark Kantner for suggesting this. Tonight we're gonna look at how phone timegraphers perform as compared to an actual timegrapher. So if you download apps onto your phone, how accurate are they? Let us begin. Okay, so the guinea pig for tonight's experiment is the Smith's PRS-29A. And let's see how it does on the actual timegrapher I own. It's been a little while since I've put it on the timegrapher, so not sure how it will do. Alright, so we see that we have a nice straight line here. It's about 5 seconds fast. 301 for the amplitude. 0 beat error. It's looking extremely healthy. Alright, let's see how various apps perform. See how close they are to this. So the phone that I own is an Android, so the apps that we check out tonight might be a little bit different for you if you own an iPhone. But they should perform similar to some of these. So the first app we're going to try is called Watch Accuracy Meter. And to use this app, you set the watch on the microphone and you press start. And you can see that the line goes vertical there. And it's pretty straight, just like we saw in the timegrapher. +5 with the 0 beat error. We don't get an amplitude reading, but as you can see, the results are exactly the same as what we saw in the actual timegrapher. So that's pretty cool. The start-stop button is kind of high on the screen, so that's good. You don't have to try and get your finger in up under the watch to start it. I really like this app. The interface is just bare bones, straight to the point. No fluff or anything. Very cool. You'll also notice that after about a minute or so, it stops on its own. So that could be either good or bad. If you want to run it longer, that may be a problem, but it looks like it's pretty accurate though. The next app we're going to try is Timegrapher Free. And there's kind of a little demo that comes up the first time you pull it up. This operates similar, so we set the watch on the microphone and we press start. Starting to get some results up here. So after that line glitched a little bit, it looks like it's not quite as straight as the other two, but the accuracy is reading pretty much the same. This one has kind of a weird interface with the 3D buttons and whatnot, and it's not quite as real-time as the other one, but it seems to perform. +5 seconds per day. Very cool. The next one we're trying is Tico Print. I could have sworn that originally it was called Taco Print. Tocko. As you can see, it runs a calibration the first time you run it. And last time I tried this app, I had it installed, then uninstalled it, now it's reinstalled. Last time I had it installed, this just went on forever, and I finally canceled it. Although this time around it seems to be moving along fairly well. We'll see if this actually finishes. Okay, so I touched the screen to keep it awake and the calibration went away. And this app seems to want an external microphone, but every time I've tried an external microphone, it's not loud enough for it. So we'll see what happens. Place the watch on the microphone, and you'll notice how low that start button is. It's kind of a pain to get to it, so I'll start it, and then we'll put the watch on there. So it's trying to do something here. And it's all over the place. Yeah. Not sure what's up with this application. Look at that. It seems to think my watch is about a minute fast. Doesn't seem to be able to hear it very well, which is interesting because the other apps had no problem at all. Yeah, this app doesn't seem to be reliable at all. It doesn't even know what the beat rate is. Yeah. The last Timegrapher app that we're going to check out is called Clock Tuner. And as soon as you fire it up, it begins. So it's already trying to read something. Let me set my watch on here. And now it's starting to settle down. 0 beat error. Now what's interesting on this app is you don't really get a whole lot of information. There's the target frequency, the beat error, but I don't see where the accuracy is, and it seems to be kind of all over the place. When I first used this app, it was performing quite a bit better than this, but yeah, this is nothing like the first two apps that we tried. This one is just kind of all over the place. I do kind of like its no-nonsense interface, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be able to hear my watch either. I would definitely recommend one of the first two apps and not these last two. So we're going to look at two other applications. These are not Timegrapher apps. These are applications where you don't need a microphone. You just tap at a certain time and then tap when it becomes the target time. Kind of similar to that. And it calculates the accuracy using those two different timestamps. So let's fire up the first one. So with this app, the first thing you have to do is add a watch because you're going to check it multiple times because there's human error and it just isn't accurate like an actual timegrapher. So let me add the Smiths. Now that it's added, here's the screen that we have. So let's click this. And it shows us the time. And what's kind of frustrating about this is you have to match the time on your watch to this. So let me set, oh, it looks like we're pretty close. Okay, so as soon as the watch says 12:10, then I have to hit this. So I chose a watch with a seconds hand, and actually I don't think we have to match this time. I just have to hit this button right when the watch says 12:10. So it's coming around. .4 seconds. Oh, yep, I guess you do have to have it set to the right time. If it's not, you can do multiple checks and just see how they vary and maybe get an idea that way. So hit save. Let's try another one. So now when it says 12:11, I'm going to hit this button. So it's coming around. And 3.2 seconds fast. Okay, I mean, that's almost what we would expect. We're expecting 5 seconds fast. That's not too terrible, but definitely not as accurate as the Timegrapher apps. The last app that we're looking at is called 12 o'clock watch accuracy. And with this app, you also have to add your watch first. So let me get that added. There we go. Let's click check. And so we have a couple different settings here. And I think unless you pay for the app, you're stuck checking at zeros. The other ones, if you want to check at 15, 30, or 45, you have to pay for it. So right once this second hand gets to 0, I hit the button. And I think once a minute's gone by, I need to hit the button again to let it know, and then it'll calculate it out. The cool thing about these apps is you can actually use them on quartz watches, but they're so inaccurate that that wouldn't be useful at all. But all right, here we go. I like that this one doesn't rely on what time you have it set to. If your watch is way off or isn't set at all, you could still use this, which is how I would code an app like this. You just hit once it's at a certain point and it goes for a minute or 30 seconds and then just does a mathematical calculation. So it's coming around. Once it gets back to the top, I'll hit this button. Alright, it's coming up on it now, and let's see what we got. No reading. So I think you have to take a few readings on this app before it'll tell you the accuracy, and unfortunately, I have to wait 6 hours between checkpoints. So I do not even know how accurate this app is going to be. I will have to run it a few times over the next couple days and do a follow-up and let you know. But these apps are just kind of a pain. I would recommend going with the Timegrapher apps. They seem pretty accurate compared to these. The two that functioned correctly and could actually read the watch were pretty spot on to my actual Timegrapher. So if you don't own a Timegrapher and you aren't able to try these particular apps, I would suggest taking a watch that you know is performing pretty well and try them out and see how clean the readout line is and how close they are as far as the accuracy goes. If they're saying that watch is way off, I wouldn't trust that app. So there you have it. We tried a few different apps and some of them perform pretty well. And if you don't have a microphone that works terribly well or your watch is really quiet, you could try some of the alternatives. They're definitely not nearly as accurate. Thanks for watching.